Titles. Let's do this.
That is an ample-sized head.
Did I call you?
Shut it down.
BAMM!
Socially distant teeth.
Eggy burps.
Pancakes.
Code word. Time.
You were sleeping.
Cons are not consent. Paul.
Good. But I won't.
Dickler, the kicker.
Okay, let's do this.
Warning. What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
Corbs.
I'm Jack.
Guys, what's got you geeked?
All right. Well, I had a couple things I got to tell you guys about. Some real short things. First of all, one of the highlights of my life happened today when John Hertzler accidentally video called me pulling his phone out of his pocket. And I get a video Facebook call from JG Hertzler. I click on it. I was like, hey, Hugh, did I call you or did you call me? And he was outside. He proceeded to tell me that, it happens to him all the time, pulling his phone out of his pocket. He's not sure why. And that, he had to get off the phone because he was procrastinating because he needed to do some yard work, and he apologized. And I'm like, oh, no, this completely fine. When an actor from Star Trek does the 2022 equivalent of butt dialing me in the middle of the day, I have no problem with that. Also, while it's probably not going to help my stomach issue, I am drinking. I have my normal fake beers as well, but Moxie. This is actually Diet Moxie. My mother-in-law brought it back from Maine. Do you guys know what Moxie is?
That was like a soda from like the 50s, wasn't it?
Well, no, it's still around, but you can only get
Obviously.
it in New England. They sell it in stores in New England. And for my money, this is the best soda ever. And the flavor is kind of like Pepto-Bismol, kind of like Canadian Mint, kind of like that, not root beer, but sarsaparilla kind of thing, that old-timey flavor. I don't know why it's not more popular. But I mean, look at the creepy dude on the can.
Is it like you said, a minty flavor, like a birch beer kind of minty, or like
sort of, yeah.
Okay,
But with a little bit of cola mixed in. It's delicious. Sometimes you can find it at candy stores. Sometimes Cracker Barrels actually have it.
Nice.
In their wall of sodas. But the other thing that has me excited, and I am going to turn off my background for this so that it actually shows up. I wish there was just a turn off virtual background option.
Sorry.
So I have my Steam Deck back.
There you go.
And I want to show you guys a couple things. First of all, this is the deck. I want to give you an example, the size of this.
Size of your head.
Big as my head. It is huge.
That's ample sized head.
It does not do it justice. And this is, by the way, running BioShock, which
Nice.
If I resume, I don't think that we're not really going to be able to see much here. But they're BioShock. Anyone here ever play BioShock?
Of course.
I've heard of it.
Okay, well,
That's cool.
It looks better than it shows up on here. It's fucking beautiful on this screen. The fact of the matter is, I'm so happy with this. I'm not going to plug any weird shit into it and fuck it up again. But I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins on it. It runs beautifully. Eats up the battery in about an hour and 20 minutes because that's a very intensive game, but it works. But then I've been playing BioShock and 4 gaming sessions. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, that's going to happen a lot because of my stomach issue. You don't have to edit those out, Paul.
I won't. If anything, I'll probably augment them.
I was about to say make some
I can
air
say
bubbles.
yeah, pop a little egg up in the corner every time I do it. But with BioShock, yeah, I mean, I'm getting, if I had to guess, probably 4 to 6 hours of playtime out of a charge, maybe more. It's an amazing device, and I think Valve outdid themselves. Of course, it could be better. Of course, it could have an OLED screen. Of course, it could have better battery life and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, the idea was to put out a portable device that could run pretty much any computer game on the market at least like medium or to low settings. Which if you went and you bought a gaming computer, you'd spend more than $650, and you'd still probably have about the same level of horsepower. It's an amazing device. I urge everyone to go out and buy the lower priced one and then install a bigger hard drive in it to
Nice.
save money. But it's an amazing device. And
Very
I'm gonna
cool.
shut up about it
Stressful
now.
for you for a little bit. I'm glad you finally got that back and you have that back. That's really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut it down now.
Shut it
Shut it
Shut it
down.
down. Oh, it's funny you do that thing. My daughter's actually been getting picked on a lot in school. We're having to deal with teachers and bullying and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things they're picking on her about is the fact that the dentist had us pull all of her baby teeth that hadn't come out yet, because like, oh, the adult teeth aren't going to come out. Well, that was like back in December of last year.
Wow.
And we pulled them all out. They still haven't come down, and her 4 teeth in front have kind of spread out. And so the kids are picking on her. This one kid told her, get you and your socially distanced teeth away from me.
Fucking
Which
Yes.
we had to laugh at. I mean, it was mean, but it was also funny. But we'd also been telling her she's got 4 teeth on top that are all spread out. We're like, anyone gives you shit, just go like this. Throw a gang sign. The 4 teeth spread out. Teeth for life.
Wow. No, I know what you went through. I had 6 of my baby teeth pulled right before I had braces put on. It's no picnic.
Well, did your other teeth fucking come in? Because
It
that's the
took a
problem.
good
Her
8
other
months,
teeth-
but I'm 34 and I never had one cavity. Bam. So
Bam.
I'm
Corbs, you-
47.
yeah,
I'm
Corbs,
47 and had 5 teeth pulled already. So go fuck yourself.
I feel like you're eating shredded wheat over there, dude.
No, it's ice cream.
Always good.
Oh,
Outstanding.
are we interrupting snack time, Corbs?
Yeah, isn't that usually during segment 2?
Well, don't worry about that.
All right, who wants to go next?
Corbs, I'll let you finish your ice cream real quick.
Go for it.
All right. So the moral of what's got me geeked is the code word time. So this past Friday was my dad's birthday. So it was really cool. Literally, I was like, Dad, what do you want for your birthday? So of course he doesn't give me what he wants for his birthday. No parent ever does. My dad says
He said he wanted to hang out with me, didn't he?
He really did. You and your daughter's gang sign teeth. No, but yeah, like he just says, I want to spend time with you. I know you're busy with your podcast, your 2 jobs, and Emily and all that, but we had like a bonfire together, just had some catching up on some stories, had some pizza together, just chilling out, just my dad and and I know Paul talks about his dad on the show sometimes, which is important. We got to spend time with our parents as much as we can. It's short and sweet, but I really got to spend time with my dad. It was really a fun weekend, just us 2 together, just doing what we want and just laughing, shooting the shit, catching up, and just having a lot of fun. Literally, I left on Sunday morning because I had to work Sunday night. Paul knows that because we'll mention that in the next segment. But it was cool though. Like literally, of course, you hug your parents goodbye. It was nice and cool. But my dad literally looks at me. He's not going to cry, of course, but he's like, thank you so much for coming over last night. I'm like, it's cool. I really enjoyed it. He's like, no, but you really don't understand. It was really just good to spend it all the time. And we have all these good memories. We do all these things together. So like I said, what's got me geeked? Time. So spending time with my dad was really cool.
Awesome.
Very
That's
nice.
very cool. Are you gonna cry, Jack? Don't fucking cry,
might.
dude.
I might have to cry. I'm going to cry that you didn't give me a damn pancake, but we'll save that for another time.
You could have walked your ass 2 doors down to get those pancakes.
My boss literally was texting me and was like, are you getting any guest cards? I'm like, fuck you. I want some damn pancakes.
I went to pancakes.
The man cakes. There you go.
The main cakes.
Pancakes.
Hold on.
He was like, what the
I'm
fuck?
not saying that one.
Did you
Oh,
see you were
yes, you
tagged in
are.
a picture, Paul, by the way? Like you were
No.
there's 98 pictures posted. You're holding the lightsaber and like literally everyone else is like this in the picture and you're like this.
Yeah,
All right.
that thing got put back in the car real quick. I wasn't lugging that fucker around. All right, Corbs, go ahead so we can start filling people in on what the fuck we're talking about.
Seriously, because I got no fucking clue. Well, I mean, for me, it's you guys know. I told you guys last week off mic. I put my 2-week notice in last Monday. Monday? Yeah, last week. So this Friday is my last day at my job because I got a new job. Starts on the 24th. So I'm
Very
looking
cool.
forward to it. Looking forward to it. Still in the IT field, still in the medical field. So that's good. Gonna have to go in the office every day, which is not bad. I mean, I enjoy working from home because I can sit around in my fucking pajamas and not have to worry about shit. Or, you know, if I don't want to sit around anything, I can wear nothing at all.
I thought you were gonna say you got an adult job. Now you have to start wearing pants. But no, good for you.
I have to wear pants. I have to wear pants when I go there. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be able to get my hands on a lot more stuff. I'm gonna be able to do a lot more IT work, which is kind of what I've been hoping for. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. So 24th is when I start my new job. So I got this week. Friday is my last day at my job. So I got a week off in between.
Nice.
Yeah. I took a week for myself. Not gonna be able to do too much though, only because A, don't have any money, and B, all my other friends have either started new jobs or will be working, so I can't even go and like play golf or anything like that. So, but it'd be nice. I mean, I'll be able to get my kid on the bus. Not that I don't put him on the bus every morning, anyways, but be able to get him on the bus, and then I can kind of, I got to return all my equipment for my job. I got to box all it up. I kept all the stuff, the boxes and whatnot. So
Nice.
But yeah, so I'll do that next week, probably next Monday or Tuesday. I'll take all that stuff over and return it to them and whatnot. So it'll be nice. I can't wait. I can't wait for the new job. I'm excited. I haven't really been this excited about a job in a while. So
Awesome.
Cue the Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited. I just can't.
You're gonna get us a copyright violation. Stop it.
seriously. Oh yeah, and Jack, just to let you know that that first week we did betting on games. I beat you 4-1. I was 4. I had 4 wins. You had 3.
I know your damn Colts screwed me over. You idiot. I'm looking forward to it though. Again.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess it's my turn. What's got me geeked is just it's spooky season. It's the Halloween season. There's lots of cool shit going on.
That is spooky.
I'm wrecking shit over here. No, mind me. Just go.
For one, like Jack was talking about, I took the family to the Spooktacular Stroll at
Is that the thing?
Long Branch. Yeah, Long Branch Park. Yeah.
Okay. How is that? Is it?
It was, it got off to the wrong foot immediately. Like we walked through the doors and there's a table there with a spinny wheel, and the kids wanted to spin the wheel, and who the fuck is sitting behind that table but Jack?
My company is sponsoring the Spooktacular Stroll.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is Paul doing at my job right now? I'm like, oh god.
And again, we get into the Halloween thing, so we were all dressed up. The girls were in their Halloween costumes. Madison is a pretty little butterfly. Kylie is the creepiest fucking Pennywise you'll ever see. That kid gets into it. She's got the I'm a murder you face down. And then Kristen and I just dragged out our old Star Wars costumes from like fucking 20 years ago. So Hugh, you've seen that Jedi costume before. I wore it at the party. But we had a good time, and like I said, it was just funny running into Jack. Is what the fuck? And
it's weird. Sorry, real quick, Paul, but your daughter was the only Pennywise I saw. I was like, oh, you're Pennywise. She's like, fucking right, I am.
yeah,
That was her face.
Yeah, she's all about it. She's good at it.
So is that, I gotta ask this question only because would that be something like teenagers would like, or is it too?
It's more. I mean, the displays are not scary at all. They're cool to walk through.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if Bryce would find it just corny,
Okay.
but I mean, there's food trucks, there's the stroll itself. It was a cool time, but it's I don't think you're not going to a haunted house or anything like that.
Because I was trying to think of something that him and his friends could do in the next like 2 weekends or something like that. Maybe if I could get him to go to one of those things. I thought about taking him up to that little walkathon or walk through that.
Over by us here? You mean
Yeah,
Walk of the Dead?
Yeah, whatever the hell that
A
is.
Nightmare on Oswego Road? Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
But didn't they have like I didn't do it, Paul. Did you guys do it? They had like a scavenger hunt too at the Spooktacular.
Yeah,
Stroll.
the kids did it.
That.
It was cool. And it's just like little stuff that you have to find, that certain things they did. There's one of them that's everyone is missing. It's the red mummy, and it's literally it's a skeleton that they've wrapped in gauze, and then they have a red light on it. So just if you go to that, you can. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to that now.
There you go. But the highlight for me there was
Ian Jack.
no, definitely not.
No, it was an awful scene.
Huey's House of Hotcakes. It is a food truck, and he makes the best fucking pancakes ever.
Yes, I do.
No, not you, trust me. I mean, you may. I've never had yours, but the Huey. It's not just the pancakes, but it's the fucking syrup that he uses. That he was saying that he said it's almost more like a syrup gravy, and it is. It's thicker, and he said that the key is the caramel, whatever he talked me up for a little while. I wish I would have had recording equipment on me, because I didn't have my phone on me because there's no pockets in that Jedi costume.
You were excited, bro.
I looked what?
You look so excited. You're like, there's pancakes. His eyes were like,
dude,
pancakes.
Fucking pancakes.
You still didn't get pancakes though.
Fucking pancakes. I had pancakes.
He didn't give me a pancake. He's a good friend, isn't he, guys?
You legit could have stood up and walked 30 feet down that path.
You saw my crowd. I had a fucking train of people.
It's crowd.
Look, I wasn't there. I didn't get pancakes.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
But oh shit, I think it was today. He was at the Great Northern Mall food truck roundup today too. He's got a whole list. If you check him out on Facebook, we'll have a link in our show notes anyway. Of all of his upcoming stuff. It's a fairly new truck. He was telling us all about it, and he's trying to get the word out there. And I was like, boy, are you talking to the wrong guy to try and get the word out? But but I told him I'd bring it up anyway, because I mean they were really good. And that syrup, like, because you can get they're mini pancakes, like little like silver dollar pancakes, and the syrup to dip in, and oh my god, so fucking good. But moving on from that,
was the syrup good?
No, it wasn't good. It was so fucking good.
Actually,
but moving on from that, Corbs, I might have an idea for you to take Bryce and his friends to, and that's the CMC Haunted House in Cicero. You heard about this one?
Is that the one that's up by the high school?
It's past the high school.
Yep.
Right next to the CMC Dance Company.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. It's been winning awards year after year. I know how much work goes into it, because that's where the girls dance now. So we've kind of had an inside line on all of it, and one of her best friends is part of it. It's they take it real seriously. There's 2 different trails. Both are sure to leave you scared and wanting more, it says. While you're at the haunted house, be sure to enjoy some of the other amenities there: foods, snacks, photo opportunities with characters. There's a hearse parked out front with the caskets. They have movies out by the bonfire you can check out while you're there too. And for the little ones, they do offer a no scare walkthrough where all the blood and gore characters are just standing there waving to you and giving you candy.
That's one for me.
That's probably. But it's
like
phenomenal. Oh, tell them I said hi.
Hi.
Well, since we're advertising haunts for free,
Your front yard doesn't count.
no, I'm not talking about my front yard. No, Corbs, just if you're interested, it is a little bit pricier, but we've always been happy with Fright Nights. Now that they have a permanent location over in East Syracuse and an old fucking warehouse, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard that's
So,
awesome too.
yeah, we go every year. I mean, it's about $90 for the 3 of us to go.
Ooh, but there isn't there
Well,
like 5 different attractions.
There's
in there?
5 attractions, and they now, since COVID, They have a different way of doing things. I hope they kept it. But they basically funnel people. Like, you no longer just get to go to whichever one you want to and wander around. They kind of funnel you through it, but you're not rushed. They're just making sure that everything goes
Like a
smoothly.
clear path. Yeah.
Yes. And it was so awesome because in the past we've had to wait in lines at each attraction when we went. The past 2 years, it's been really the first one, maybe a little bit of a line for the first one, might wait 10 minutes or so. But once you get in, there's no more lines for the rest of the attractions.
Okay.
Because
Nice.
they're releasing everybody in, at certain intervals. So you can just go from one to another. But I like it. I think it's fantastic.
What was it? Paul, actually, I want to keep talking about Halloween stuff, but there is actually one thing I remember that got me geeked that this was so awesome. I have to bring up real quick.
Okay.
So, Ryan Reynolds, of course, is a great actor, but he moved up a notch in my book. Him and Colin Hanks are literally working together, Tom Hanks' son, and one of my favorite actors of all time, John Candy. Corbs, you'll like this. They're working with Chris and Jennifer Candy, John Candy's children. They're taking the home movie footage and they're making an authentic documentary about John Candy's life. And Ryan Reynolds literally said in his tweets, expect tears. Holy fuck. I'm like, that's a hardcore what's got me geeked. I know we're talking about the Halloween season. I want to stick with it for sure, but I had to throw
John Candy, that goes with Halloween.
Candy.
You're good.
Yes.
You're
Halloween
good.
candy. Perfect.
But literally,
that would be kind of wild to see because John Candy was fantastic.
Literally, that guy, Ryan Reynolds and Colin Hanks literally said to Chris and Jennifer Candy, because they've wanted to do a lot of documentaries on John Candy's life over the years. But Chris and Jennifer, the ones that have all of John Candy's home movies and all his props, they're like, no, we want to turn everything down. His wife stays out of the limelight. She wants nothing to do with it. But Ryan Reynolds being Canadian, and also if you look at Deadpool 2, when he did Plane, Trains, Automobiles, John Candy, he's reading a book called The Canadian Mounted. Ryan Reynolds is actually reading that same book in Deadpool 2. So it's paying homage to John Candy. And but with the way he said expect tears, Chris and Jennifer Candy said, we have home movie footage that you guys have never seen, which we're going to bring out, which outstanding. Like how Paul says to us after we finish something. I think this is going to be just amazing.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But going back to the candy theme though, I'm done.
Yes. That covered it for me. Let's move it on to guys. What are you playing other than the Steam Deck?
What else would I play?
Oh,
I'm not.
Wait, you just
Maybe at the same time. Do what you got to do.
Beat your own drum.
I'm assuming nobody else has really got anything they're playing at the moment. No. Same here. Just the only thing I have to know is finally, after almost a year of having on pre-order, Gotham Knights is releasing soon. I think in the next week or so.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Just on standard sake, I refuse to play as Nightwing because I don't want to allow him any screen time because of Jack. So
Is it coming out on Xbox One? And it's sad to say, is it a $60 game? Because I might want that too.
definitely a $60 game.
Yeah.
I think it's
All
coming out for
platforms.
all next gen systems. Is it the Xbox One, Hugh?
I don't know about the Xbox stuff. I mean, there's the X and the Series X and Series S. I that confuses me. But it's definitely, I believe it's a PS5.
Yeah.
Because I think they were gonna do cross gen, and they not too long ago they said they weren't able.
They
to
were
do
like,
it,
nah,
so.
yeah. So
Well, Paul, thank you for letting me come over to your house and play with you. I can't
that's
wait.
not going to happen.
got that shit down quick.
Yeah, you
Good job.
shut that down.
All right. Well, then I guess if that's
Wait. 5 ants. Rented an apartment with 5 other ants. Now they're 10 ants.
Okay. All right. So I guess that means it's time to throw it to break, and we'll come back to the news. Stick with us, folks. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Now, before you start counting on your fingers when I say, you're getting old when you take more pills in the morning than you get erections in a month, here's the news. I'm going to do my best, folks. Not feeling great. We'll see what happens. First up, this is why we suck as a society. Remember last episode we talked about how the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer called for a boycott of the series in good taste? How it was reopening old wounds and glamorized the killer instead of the victims? It's now the second most watched show in a week ever on Netflix, only behind Stranger Things Season 4. Yep, we truly are awful human beings that love the suffering of serial killers to the victims to the tune of 56 million households who have finished the series. At this point, a planet-killing asteroid is the only real equitable solution. Next up, moons over my deepfake. A tweet on last week from the producer Glenn Gordon Carone suggesting something was going on with the Moonlight franchise got everyone in a buzz. The Moonlighting franchise was a classic 1980s dramedy that starred Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, and it turned out the tweet was referencing the show as heading to streaming, but it did bring up some interesting ideas. Now, a few weeks ago, right before this, news broke that Bruce Willis had sold his digital license of himself. That turned out not to be true, but he had given a company permission to create a digital twin of himself for a commercial. And if you're going to go and look for that, it's like a Japanese commercial or something. It's really fucking weird. This kind of technology is the start of actors being able to license themselves out even after death or disability. So here's my question. What if the news had been that they are rebooting Moonlight with a digital Bruce Willis? Is that possible? Is it ethical? Do we care? Dahmer fans sure don't. This begs the question, why even reboot things if you can digitally recreate the original actors? Or write it into contracts that if someone leaves a show, the producers can keep using them if they want to. This is all terrifying, disturbing, and fascinating. Can I get a digital deepfake to do my job, at least here on GeekPod, so I can free up my Wednesday nights? And finally, like a wingman for asteroids, NASA's DART project, or Double Asteroid Redirection Test, successfully hit the asteroid Dimorphos, which orbits a larger space rock called Didymos. The idea is, can we launch a satellite into an asteroid to push it ever so slightly off course? Caught early enough, a small difference could be miles or light years by the time a dangerous object gets close to Earth. The most recent update shows it was successful when we altered the orbit of Dimorphos, the Dimorphos asteroid, by 32 minutes. So it's now 32 minutes shorter. So basically, we earned an asteroid death and figured out how to avoid it in the same week. So nothing changes. We clamor for more tasteless serial killer content. Everything gets rebooted with deepfakes, and DART saves us from Armageddon. It all seems so pointless. We never learn. We never pay for our sins, as if we were politicians or something. And a bonus news item this week. This, I know I usually do 3, but something came to my attention at the last minute here. Instagram user Alex Jeffrey has posited that Hurricane Ian was sent to kill conservatives in Florida by satanic Democrats. I'm going to read their post in full. Bear with me. Quotes. The storm of the century, as it's being called, is unfortunately another one of many examples of how the government engineers weather to completely destroy places. And as they will always use predictive programming to show you they're going to do it in advance. The Storm of the Century movie by Stephen King came out in the year 1999, and 3 nines turned upside down is 666. NHL defenseman Ian Cole, who formerly played for the Carolina Hurricanes, was recently signed by the Tampa Bay Lightning. You can't make it up. These sick Satanists love to use signs and symbols and put it right out in the open because they know that nobody will notice. News reporters throwing up the 666 hand sign, by the way, that's this when they're talking, that's 666 apparently. Should be enough to show you who is really behind Hurricane Ian. I had a bad feeling they were going to set up something in Florida because they tricked a lot of people to move there because we were told that they were fighting for freedom and pushing back against mandates. It sure seems like it was all a sinister setup that unfortunately too many people fell for. Regardless of what you want to believe, we need to pray for all the people in Florida who have been affected by the storm. Prayer has always been and will be more powerful than Satan. End quotes. And fucking crazy quote. So the government tricked people into moving to Florida to avoid COVID mandates, then created a hurricane to kill all of those people, and went all Blue's Clues about it as far back as a TV movie from 1999. So it had been planned for 22 years. Wait, it gets better. Besides the fact that the real answer is place that always gets hit by storms gets hit by a storm. The reactions to this post are astonishing, ranging from the they always do this to us to, and I kid you not, I feel the exact same way you do, promoting Florida as free and having everyone move there. We get set up for weather disasters. This is the reason DART should be shut down and let it happen. We are really this stupid. While all of us may not be that stupid, taken as an average intelligence, I no longer believe we are worth the trouble. And that's the news, kids. Now, I have to get back to work on my own special project called FART. That's F-A-R-T. It stands for Fat Ass Redirection Test. Don't get too excited, Paul. This isn't when you deploy Jack to chat up that fat friend of a group of women at the bar you want to talk to. This is where I hook up a bunch of Nerf guns to pelt me whenever I go near the refrigerator outside of normal eating and cooking times. So far, it hasn't worked, and I've developed a taste for foam darts dipped in ranch. I think I have a problem. Paul?
In other news, there's a cemetery town in California called Colma. The ratio of dead to living people is 750 to 1. Back to you, Corbs.
Yeah. Nope.
Are you the one?
No.
I guess we the ones.
I want to know if that cemetery's got a fence around it.
Yeah, it's called the town. It's just
You know why there's a fence around all cemeteries, right?
to keep people from getting out.
No,
Down the zombies.
people are dying to get in.
A little early.
Sorry.
Okay, take it away.
By the way, tequila may not fix your life, but it's worth a shot.
I am so glad you have a new job, my friend.
All right, sports time. So for me, NHL started on Tuesday. So, I got a chance. The Canucks might win a Stanley Cup this year. Not going to happen. So, but it's nice. Get a chance maybe to watch him a little bit here and there. I checked the schedule. I'll be able to watch him twice out of 82 games.
Perfect.
So I'm good. I'm good there. So, but I mean, other than that, not too much going on sports-wise for me. Like I mentioned earlier, first time Jack and I did our selections, I got him 4-1. I was 4-1. He was 3-2. So I'm winning by 1 right now. So Jack, we're gonna go ahead and do the next round. So I picked again. We're gonna do the Thursday night game. That's the Washington Commodores or whatever the hell, the Commanders and the Bears. I'm going with the Bears because I don't think the Redskins. I'm going to call them the Redskins because that's what they've always been. I'm going with the Bears. I just don't see the Washington Commanders or whatever the fuck they're called. They're not that good. Carson Wentz, he's a former Eagle and all that stuff, but you can now see why the Eagles got rid of him, why the Colts got rid of him. I mean, he's good, but he makes a lot of bad throws, and I just think the Bears. I don't know. It's gonna be a close game, but I think the Bears are gonna win that game.
So basically, last Thursday, you had the Denver Broncos versus the Indianapolis Colts. There was 12 punts combined. Amazon bought football for $13 billion. That was the worst game ever. So what can you do to follow it up? You pick the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. What the fuck? It's getting worse.
It's true.
The Eagles are 5-0. The Giants are 4-1. The Cowboys are 4-1 as well. So Ron Rivera, like you said, was interviewed. They said, what would make the difference if your team was better? He quote unquote said quarterback.
Yep.
Carson Wentz, you're right. He is struggling. His statistics show him he is a top 10 quarterback right now, but it's all about him, unfortunately. Justin Fields is young. The Bears have a good defense. I'll agree. I'll take the Bears in this one.
Nice. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Colts. Excuse me. I'm going with the Colts just because I'm going to ride them for a little while here. I don't think Jacksonville. I mean, they've played well in their games, and I think they've lost. I don't think they've really lost by a lot in most of the games. So I'm going to go with the Colts this one, but I do think this one's going to be close again. And it really all depends on if Jonathan Taylor plays. If he plays, then I think it's a blowout if he plays. If he doesn't play or he's limited, then I think you'll see a closer game. But I still think the Colts will pull that one
out. The Eagles were losing to the Jags. I remember, 14-0 a couple weeks ago. And Trevor Lawrence missed a wide open touchdown. They could have been up 21-0 and all that. So basically, I think the Jags are just shooting themselves in the foot right now. They're a very underrated football team. Even though the Colts did beat the Broncos last weekend, I did like that. That was very impressive. But I think Trevor Lawrence just keeps beating himself up. Doug Peterson is a solid coach. I'm biased there.
Right.
The Jags will get that win over your Colts.
All right. And then we're going to go because Philly plays in the Sunday night game this week. So we're going to go. I picked the game. I picked the Giants and the Ravens only because we needed a fifth game. So for that game, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think Saquon is just running the ball real well. And I think Daniel Jones all he has to do is manage the clock. He doesn't have to win games. I think Saquon's going to run 30 times. I mean, he's running the ball like crazy. He's back to his old form. I just don't know about their defense. So, I mean, but they stood up against Green Bay in London last week. So, but I don't know. I just think that, I don't know, Jacksonville, I think is, and like you said with the Jags, I think they're just kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now. Lamar missed a lot of open receivers over the last weekend. I watched some of the game. I mean, he had 2 or 3 guys wide open that he either threw 10 yards past them, 5 yards to the left. I mean, I think he's struggling. I mean, he's still a high caliber quarterback, but I don't know. I think the Giants, I keep picking the Giants to lose, and they keep screwing me over. So, but I'm going to go with the Giants this time. So, and then they're going to lose, and I'm going to be pissed.
That's fair. There's that old Disney movie. Midnight. Giants have hit midnight. They're going to lose this week. The Ravens are going to win that game. Giants have gotten very lucky, even though they've won some good games. It's impressive. They're playing good football. Saquon Barkley is coming back from his ACL tear. So he's definitely a top 5 running back, if not the best running back. Daniel Jones has to manage the game, and he's doing that. But no, I just feel like the Ravens, they should have beat the Bills a couple weeks ago. Lamar Jackson's an MVP candidate. But I would say the Ravens, they have a great defense. Lamar Jackson will throw 200 yards passing, 80 yards rushing, have 2 passing TDs and a rushing TD. And I would say Ravens are going to beat the Giants 17-14 or something like that.
Okay.
Jesus, it's like you've been to the future or something. Holy shit.
But you just said he's going to get 3 touchdowns and only score 17 points.
I'm
One's
sorry.
gonna get called back.
Yeah, 21-17. Yes.
There you go.
But yes, I have a lot of useless football knowledge in this head, Hugh.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna go Dallas and the Eagles. So this game I think is the game of the week. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the game of the week. If Dak plays, I think it's a close. If he doesn't play, I think Cooper Rush is able to manage the game. But either way, I think the Eagles are gonna win that game. They're playing. They're hitting on all cylinders right now. Jalen Hurts is fantastic. So I just don't see them I don't see the Cowboys being able to beat them. And I think if Cooper Rush, if he plays, he's going to come back to earth here at some point. He's not going to continue on the streak he's on. So, but they're still waiting to see if Dak is going to be able to grip the ball. That's what they're waiting on. And if he can actually throw the ball and get some, as Jerry Jones said, spin on the ball. Which I don't, whatever Jerry Jones is exactly, Jack. So, but I am going with the Eagles on that one. So.
I read a report right before we came on here. They're likely going to go with Cooper Rush. They're going to sit Dak another week. But like you said, Cooper Rush has to come back to reality. I'm not biased. Of course I'm biased, but I will take the Eagles in that one as well. But the reason you can't make this shit up. Of course, Jake Elliott is out with an injury, their kicker, but all hail Dickler. Dickler, that's the kicker. He had the game-winning field goal for the Eagles.
The kicker?
There you go. Yep. He was signed from the Eagles. He played at Texas. He had the game-winning field goal, but literally, I don't know if you know this, Corbs. So, of course, the Cardinals had a chance to win that game last week, but the Eagles actually blocked the field goal. Yeah. It didn't just go, it was blocked. But Eagles are winning on all cylinders. It's probably going to be the game of the week. Jason Peters is playing that game with the Cowboys, so he's coming back home to Philly. So, yeah. It's going to be a real test. It's going to be a hard game for sure, but I would definitely say the Eagles pull it out, move to 6-0, and just keep riding the wave. And what's pretty impressive, and you probably know this too, they're 6-0, the best team in football, and we still have a top 5 draft pick in the draft coming up next year. So we'll still take it. So nice. Hopefully I can catch you this week and we can at least be tied, or I don't want you.
We got one more game, my friend.
Oh, we got one more. Okay.
Yeah, so we got the Monday night game, which is Denver and the Chargers, Las Vegas Chargers. That's I'm going to. I mean, I've read some reports about Denver. Russell Wilson's hurt, kind of partially torn pec muscle or some shit like that or whatever. So, and I just think Justin Herbert's a fantastic quarterback. Him, Mike Williams, all those guys. Their defense is pretty good. So I'm definitely taking the Chargers here. For the win. So
all right, Denver country, let's not ride. Because the Chargers, Justin Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. He's very, very underrated. I feel like after this season, he's just going to show everybody he's a top 5 quarterback. He's very consistent. Mike Williams, like you said, they hit on all cylinders. Just Broncos, like if you watch that game when they were playing the Colts, they threw an interception when they could have won the game at the end of the game. And Russell Wilson missed a wide open man in the end zone to win the game. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. They paid a guy $230 million. And literally Tony Gonzalez literally wanted to curse out the camera when he's like, Russell Wilson, what the fuck are you doing? Basically, you reading his body language. Yeah. But like you said, Chargers are winning that game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's by 10 points.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's by more than 10.
Because like Denver defense carried them last week, and literally, like I said, it was 12 punts last football game. And I think the Colts punted 7 times. That defense was solid. And like Denver's defense is a top 5 defense, and they're getting shit on when they should have a good quarterback to lead them. Russell Wilson's losing the locker room fast. They need to win, but they're not winning this week.
Not this week, no.
Oh. That's what I'll go.
Yep. All right.
Okay. He was awake again. All right, so let's keep moving right along.
Hey, wait.
He likes that. I knew he would like that.
Yeah, he was enthused by all of that talk.
Yes.
So guess what? Tomorrow, my son and I are getting new glasses. After that, we'll see.
I got new lenses. You notice how you can actually see my eyes and not just a reflection of my other computer screen?
Look at that.
I don't want to.
fuck you. You know, this might be the first time our viewers have actually seen my eyes. They may have assumed that I just had white computer screens back here, you know, which makes sense because I talk like a computer sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna gaze into Hugh's eyes the whole rest of the show.
All right, Jack, take it
So-
away.
All right, so let's stick with some more Halloween stuff because Halloween's right around the corner. All right, you can either I want this you have to answer this before you get the question. So do you guys want as a group 2 guesses or do you guys still want individual guesses?
I say individual.
Individual.
Okay. Sorry, Hugh. You didn't get a
What?
chance you didn't get to vote. It was already majority. All right. All right. It's illegal to dress like a nun or a priest in which US state?
Massachusetts.
No. You were thinking of Salem, weren't you?
I was. That's what.
No.
Vermont?
No.
All right. Can I ask a question?
After Paul guesses.
West Virginia.
No. And what's your question?
Okay. Is it in the Northeast? Is it
No.
in the South?
South.
It's in the South. Okay. I was wondering like if it was Northeast, South, Southwest, Northwest.
I'm being very nice. Take one more guess.
Georgia.
No.
I'm done.
Louisiana.
No.
Alabama.
Alabama. So here's what the answer is. It's Alabama. According to section 13A 14.4, impersonating the clergy is a misdemeanor with a fine up to $500 or a year in jail.
Jesus.
Jesus.
All right.
That's fun.
Yeah, this is fun. All right. In this country, Halloween originated in.
I mean, what didn't it originate here?
No.
No.
Because I know a lot of other countries don't sell. Like the people I work with in other countries were like, y'all are fucking crazy. We don't do that shit here.
That's good. No.
Okay, so
Mexico.
Corbs, you want to guess?
Mexico.
No.
I've got a 50-50 shot here. Ireland.
And the answer is right because All Hallows Eve is like All Saints Day. The Catholics, like the Celtic, bring out your dead. Basically, they
Yeah.
want that. So Ireland, good job.
I was on the fence. I wasn't sure it was Ireland or Scotland. I knew it was one of the two.
What made you go to Ireland though? What was like you're thinking? Just
Because he wants to be Irish really badly.
adopting.
It's still
Wait,
like
he drinks like
ingrained
he's
in me.
Irish.
Drinks like I am. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
This is true.
you walk into a pub with your PBR, they're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing in here?" No, but good job, everybody. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
that's pretty
Thanks.
good.
Okay. Slow clap. Sure. All right. So before we go to break, I'm going to throw the weekly topic at you. You guys ready? Once again, we're continuing with the spooky season stuff. What is your Halloween season tradition? All right. So the guys will answer that when we come back. Stick with us. Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore. Located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking, Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics. right, so that music means it's time for the weekly topic. Let me reiterate what that was. What is your Halloween season time tradition? Go.
Well, Paul, I mean, my tradition is Halloween. Feel free if you want to like grab some of the pictures I posted on Facebook to put with the show notes. But I mean, Halloween is our thing. And if I wasn't old and broken and we weren't dealing with a bunch of burglaries and stuff in our area right now, I would have decorated the day after Labor Day because that's usually when I do it. I actually waited until October because we're concerned about our stuff being out there.
Right.
Because we've had a ton of break-ins in the area recently. To the point of where I've now ordered a security system that I have to install this weekend myself. So fuck me.
Perfect.
But really, I mean, Halloween is our thing. You know, from the ridiculous amount of decorations, the full-size candy bars, the horror movie marathons. It's just, we're stupid. I have a Halloween playlist on my phone. My phone goes in the mailbox and plays Halloween music, you know, for the entire night of Halloween. It's just, yeah, there's not just one thing. You know, I could probably pick out a Christmas tradition, but Halloween, it is Halloween.
It's all of it.
Yes.
All right. We have similar things there, Hugh. I'll get into it when it comes back
We
around
have
to me.
similar things. I don't recall ever comparing our things before.
You were sleeping.
Wow.
Well, then we didn't do that, did we?
I didn't say we did. I said we had similar things.
That's just creepy wrong.
Yeah, I'm with Corbs on that one. That's
Corbs, you want to go?
Yeah, I want to go away.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of
Apparently,
here.
I couldn't because I was asleep. Conventions are not consent.
That's my holiday. That's my holiday tradition right there. Being scared of this right now. I don't really have any Halloween traditions. I mean, I don't really celebrate Halloween. You know, I don't hand out candy anymore because I live in an apartment. Can't really do that in the apartment. Our apartment complex doesn't allow kids to come around to the apartments.
Really?
Yeah, or this apartment we live
Well,
in.
you could stand out on the street or something and hand out candy.
I could, but lately it's been really cold and rainy. Used to take my son over to my buddy's house, and we used to walk around the neighborhood there. His neighborhood. He lives in that neighborhood where they hand out the giant size candy bars, king size ones, and stuff.
Which is not my neighborhood. We're the only house that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, so I mean, I don't have anything really. I don't watch movies. I don't do anything crazy like that. So
Perfect.
I guess my tradition would be is when I lived in the townhouse I had a couple of years ago. You know, for Halloween I would just shut off all the lights and eat all the Reese's Pieces.
You just sit there with the bowl. With
In the
light
window.
off.
He's a silhouette in the window.
Just
Just
sit in the window upstairs and watch the kids walk by with the lights off and just Reese's Pieces and peanut butter cups and Milky Ways and
We
Wait a
see
minute.
you in the window. We're
Track.
going.
he's like, all right, Jack.
Is it frowned upon to already go to houses for trick-or-treating with my bag and ring the doorbell? Is that bad?
You still look like you're 12, so it probably works.
I mean, you might want to
Um,
shave, but
Yeah. No, I've lived in my house for 5 years now, and I do like handing out the candy to the trick-or-treaters. That is actually kind of cool. So you get the bowl. I've learned though, you don't show them the bowl because if you show them the game over.
Yeah.
And Halloween candy, holy fuck. That's like a great invention. Like it's so damn expensive. It's like $20 a bag now. So
I paid 23.
it's like what
for a
you
bag.
it's expensive.
Fuck
well,
you
it
get in a
depends
bag.
on what you're getting. We got a $10 bag that was like 100 some odd pieces, and then we got 2 boxes of 14. It was $14 a piece for 18 full size candy bars in each one. And BJ's actually has a sale for $22. You get 30 full size candy bars.
Nice.
So
I go
not
to
a
Price
bad deal at
Chopper
all.
and get 3 bags of candy for $11.
Well, yeah, I do the research, and they say after Labor Day, like Hugh says, he puts if he wants to, he can put all his decorations up. But you should get the Halloween candy then, because right close to Halloween, like what was it? I think it was Skittles, Twixes, Reese's Cups. it was a $23 bag for like only 150 pieces. So
Oh no. I did I think it's Reese's, Whoppers, Twizzlers, and one other thing in there. They were all like decent ones, like ones that I would actually want to eat.
not
And
with
it's
the
a 355 piece
Yeah,
for the 23. Like that's
reasonable.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, where'd you get that one? If you don't mind me asking, I might do the
Right
same.
at Walmart. My home away from home.
But yeah, like
Word.
handing out the candy to the trick-or-treaters is always cool to see and all that. And actually, even since I was a kid, watching The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown's always been a cool show to watch. But now it's not on cable anymore. I think Apple owns it now.
Yeah,
So
Apple TV got the rights to it.
they got the rights to it. So
Fuckers.
yeah, but now you learn. I'm still gonna hand out the trick-or-treating candy, but you can give them a piece of candy or something like that. You don't show them the bowl, because if you show them the bowl, it's game over. But like when we were kids, can we just admit we walked house to house? Like, what's up with these kids now? I get it, but like you would take a car and all that stuff to the house. Like you're walking this up. My dad would make us walk this. Like, what is going? I know, I
Not
get it.
anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Or
It's-
are you
No,
afraid of kids
didn't-
getting kidnapped?
we went in a car
You went in a car when you were a kid?
because we lived in the country.
Well, yeah, you
So-
didn't have a choice. Like you had to drive to get to the next house.
Yes.
So
I mean, there occasionally were houses close together and we'd walk to each one, but then we'd jump in the car and drive for 10 minutes before we
Yeah.
got to the next group out. Well, not really 10 minutes, but yeah, there was no way you could walk all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the same thing as when I was a kid, because we were in a very rural area. Like literally my next door neighbor was a swamp. And I wish that was a joke. That's not a punchline.
Harold Baskin.
So we would actually get driven down to the village of Jordan, like where there actually was houses. And then my mom would just drop us off and be like, I'll come get you in X amount of hours. See ya. So
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
I used to just walk around my neighborhood.
yeah, which is what we do. Like we do the concentric circles. And, well, I say we, but I don't. I'll explain when it gets to be my turn.
Go ahead, man. That's basically what I
Alright.
got. Like handing out the candy, watching Charlie Brown, stuff like that. But you go ahead. I'm listening to what you got.
So I also, like you, Hugh, I especially this year have gone overboard with the decorations. The girls are old enough and actually had the urge to help, so it actually came out really nice this year. We've got one side that's just the graveyard, which they did it in an actual manner that made sense instead of just random bullshit. And then the other side is the all lit up side. I've got all the orange lighting with the flashing bush net lights and all that shit. But on Halloween night, it's going to expand more. I'm putting the 5-foot skeleton out, blocking the way to my door, because I don't actually want people coming to my door. Because what I do is I sit out in the driveway. I move the cars usually into the yard out of the way. Sit out in my driveway with a table set up. We do the whole goodie bags that we pre-do it. We started doing it with COVID. And I line all the goodie bags out on the folding table. And I sit in the driveway with my Halloween playlist playing on my outdoor speakers. And hang out around the bonfire. I bring our fire pit out to the front and hang out there with it, just by the firelight, have a good old time with it. And it usually draws people in. Like it's more of a welcoming atmosphere. So you'll get people who want to bullshit, and the random, hot mom who's like, hey, do you have a beer for me? And of course I make sure I do, and stuff like that. And have a good old time, because I really like hanging out and seeing the costumes and like all that. And then I always reserve the right to give extra candy to the costumes that I like, usually like superhero costumes and shit. I'm like, whoa, you got more coming, hold on. And then there's the hot moms. But and I'm going to speak for Kevin here, because I know he's not here. He actually does a Halloween party at his house on Halloween night. They usually hang out on his front deck, drink, play games, and rate all the costumes. Like they're really into like the Halloween costumes and stuff with the kids. Like he keeps inviting me out to it, and I'm like, dude, I have like trick-or-treat age kids, I can't go. Like, but
that's
it sounds
not
like they
gonna
have a really
happen.
good time. Yeah.
Do they
So-
throw candy at kids as they walk by?
No, they actually enjoy the kids. Like they're not
I would
bullying
think
them.
in Mexico they'd be sending the candy to kids by carrier pigeon, but
There's that too, but I guess he's actually in the village.
oh, okay.
So yeah.
Kevin looks like the kind of guy that would scream at kids, "Get off my lawn!"
Oh,
I give it another year or two.
So, Paul, I have to ask, did you actually look at those pictures I post and notice the new stuff this year?
I remember seeing them and I was wowed by them, but I didn't notice what was new.
Okay, we actually have a pumpkin patch. Like we
Nice.
grew a pumpkin on our front lawn and a whole patch and of leaves and stuff. And there's a demon baby in the pumpkin patch, which is cool.
Nice.
And the other thing is when we replaced our toilet, I saved the toilet.
I saw that.
It's out there. The skeleton sitting on the toilet with pants around his ankles. I managed to get a magazine in his hands. I had to cut holes in it and zip tie stuff, but he's sitting there with a magazine on the toilet. I'll throw it out when we take everything down, but I was like, God damn it, I can't let this
I'm
go to
using it
waste.
this year. Yes. That's awesome. And my other, I guess, tradition is the night before Halloween every year I watch The Crow. I think I've talked about that a few times before.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Probably every year around this time I bring it up.
It's pretty cool. Like I remember like one Halloween, you go to these like you said, Kev has these Halloween parties. And one year I was Waldo for Halloween. And literally I kept photobombing everyone's pictures. Like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, you gotta find me. Like I was totally shit faced and I just did not give a shit. Like girls are taking all their pictures. I'm like this in the background. I'm like, what's like, you're just Waldo. Like in all the pictures, you're like, you're that douchebag. It was fun.
Yep.
It's funny you bring that up because we're participating in the girls' middle school trunk or treat this year, and we were kicking around ideas for themes. And Kristen brought up, "Where's Waldo?" I said, "I'll dress up like Waldo, and I'll just like run from like car to car and like hide. Like you have to have people find me." And she's like, "No, never mind. We're not doing that."
You have to have the cane. You have to do it all. Make it look good.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that too. So. Our last episode before Halloween, I might have a different appearance. Just saying.
You're not coming as the Crow, I hope.
No, I couldn't pull
he's
that
referring to shaving off his facial hair so he can do Waldo.
No, we're not doing that.
You
No.
imagine? I'm like, what?
Kevin Smith again.
No, for Waldo, I would probably keep the beard. What was that, Corbs? I'm sorry.
You can be Kevin Smith again?
No. Although Kristen does want me to dye the beard again.
What does
She
Paul
said
want?
She wants you to dye it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. She liked that. She was kind of mad that when I shaved all the color out of it last year. So, all right. Anything else for the weekly topic before we move on to the midstream report? Guys, what are you watching?
TV.
Generally.
I actually I had it written down. Started watching The Blacklist. Never seen it before. It's pretty good with James Spader.
Yes.
AMC's Interview with the Vampire. Pretty friggin' awesome. Have you watched it, Paul?
The first episode.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't gotten to watch the new one yet.
I'm impressed. I really wasn't sure that you could improve on the movie. What do you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
They're
Holy
taking
crap.
their time to flesh out the story. I love it. And even with the changes, with like the race changes and stuff, it makes it better.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Everything that like they're explaining, like Louis' hardships and everything, it's like makes even more perfect sense how Lestat would be able to lure him in more.
Yeah, and it
Like-
makes his character more interesting. It
Yes.
gives him a lot more pathos. I enjoy that. I'm so excited that they're finally doing this. I hope the ratings are there to keep it around. The other thing I watched was Hulu's Hellraiser reboot.
How was it?
Well, I think everyone knows I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. Pinhead's one of my favorites. Here's the thing. It was great, but the new Pinhead, played by Jamie Clayton, I can't fault her performance there. The
Okay.
only thing I can say is that she did not have the presence that the original Pinhead did, but she played it differently. But I still maybe not missed that, but I feel like any of the Cenobites could have taken her lines and she could have been silent and it wouldn't have made a difference in the delivery. Like she didn't really stand out. The other change, if you've seen pictures, they all look very white and red. Basically, they've traded in the leather, the S&M leather bondage, for what looks like flesh, like white flesh and red blood accents. Looks cool, But whereas in the original movies, the leather read as if they were part of a hell gang or they were all together. In the new movie, this new design doesn't really read as cohesive. It almost feels like they weren't done.
Gotcha.
It's very, because you know, with black leather you don't need to see texture, but with white and light, it's not. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I mean, every single part of the movie was great and well done, but it wasn't the second coming of Hellraiser. It's certainly worth exploring this continuity, but they lacked something, and I don't know really what it was. And you'll have to. I'd love for you to watch it and tell me what you think.
So it's a new movie. I thought it was going to be a series.
No, there is also a series coming, and that may not have
Gotcha.
anything to do with this movie. This is the movie franchise. They're separate things. Clive
Okay.
Barker's involved with both. But it's a reboot. It's basically this is definitely one of those things. It's not just a reimagining. It is a reboot.
Okay. Gotcha.
Story wise, it was great. I mean, they picked the great lead actress. She did a really believable job of being, you know, a drug addict. Yeah, I mean, everything about it was great. I watched it. I got to the end and I'm like, I liked that, but yeah, the other two guys who played Pinhead in the last two movies that people were mad about because it still wasn't Doug Bradley. I don't want to say they were better, but they attempted that thing that I felt was missing from this version of Pinhead. That maybe not even sinister, but having a personality separate from the other Cenobites, you know, that you knew that he was the boss or he was in charge or he was different at the very least. I didn't quite get that feeling with her performance. And that could change, you know, if she changes the way. I'm not saying I don't like her as Pinhead. I think she just needs to play it slightly different, or the character needs to develop into something more than the rest of his hellish team, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Nice. And that's on Hulu, you said?
Correct. Came out.
Is the
Friday.
series as well going to be on Hulu?
No, the series I believe is HBO or Showtime or something.
Okay.
And again, there's no news on it being connected. I don't think it is connected.
That seems like a missed opportunity. Like, if you're going to reboot, why not lead it right into the series?
Well, that depends on whether they're going to be bringing back some old faces for the series. Maybe.
Oh, potentially.
Maybe.
Like we're hypothesizing here.
Well, I mean,
speculating is the word I was looking for.
Doug Bradley might not want to come back for the movie series. He might want to take the big movies in a different direction. But for a short form television series, you know, 8 episodes or so, and he doesn't even have to be in every one. And they could highlight some other characters, some other Cenobites. It could almost be an anthology type thing. So I could see them keeping that in the original timeline.
Gotcha.
But I honestly don't know. I don't know why you do a movie and a series in the same thing unless they were going to be directly connected. And I think they would have said that by now.
Right.
If they were.
No. Like, what was it? I'm just still in awe. I'm just so impressed. Like, I'm not going to mention any spoilers, but like House of Dragon, like that show by far, like, of course, Game of Thrones was a show inside itself, but like Paddy Constantine, the guy that plays Cain Varys, his story arc, I'm gonna do this with no spoilers, so it's gonna be amazing though. Like his character arc from episode 1 to episode 8, because there's 2 episodes left. Oh my god, this actor literally, like, of course his actor, like the way he forms his craft, the way he interacts with all the different characters. Like there was this like a scene in the last episode that was just like jaw dropping. It's like, oh my god, that was so good. And one of the parts was very improv too. And Matt Smith, the guy that plays Damon and his brother, they did that improvise, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna let that roll. But literally at the end of that episode this past week, George R.R. Martin literally sent him a text message. He's like, you did it way better than I wrote the character on. So like that just shows the actor is just so beloved and like that universe and all that. Like, and I'm definitely gonna have to check out some of his other work. I'm sure he's done so many other good things that I'm gonna have to check out. But it was just amazing. But
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna have to ask Kev this question next week, because also my dad and I, we watched Samaritan with Sylvester Stallone this past weekend.
Yeah.
It got shit on quite a bit, but I'm not gonna lie to you, that was actually a pretty good movie. It had a pretty good little twist at the end. Of course, it has those corny liners, all that stuff. He's like, "Time to take out the trash," or something like that. But you know what? Because
I
you
say that about every 3 days.
yeah, but it was like I want to hear like, did anybody else see the movie here, Samaritan?
No,
I
but Hugh,
have it on my watch list.
Yeah.
now you
but-
have to say that in the Stallone voice from now on.
No, I don't. You can't make me.
I can edit it into the show somehow.
You could.
But what you're gonna
I'll
edit
animate
in
you.
me taking my garbage out every single time into the show?
You could.
It's gonna be the new opening.
That's creepy because
You do
that means he's watching you from a distance. You
He could. I
I'm
would
just gonna reuse
Well,
footage.
why wouldn't you?
true. Jack, Samaritan, is that on Prime or?
Amazon,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because like the whole movie, you think it's going one way, and then it goes a totally different direction. Like, oh wow, that was a good, cool little twist. The kid was a little whiny. I can see why he got shit on a little bit. If you want me to nitpick it, but overall, I would say like it was a good movie though. It was like solid to watch. I was like, oh wait, that did not see that coming. That was really neat. But yeah, those are the two things really I watched that were pretty solid this week. Like I said, I want to talk more of that House of Dragon, but like you guys got to watch it. Like with King Varys, with his story arc, that was very, very well done.
So I heard with House of Dragons, you don't really need to get through all of Game of Thrones.
You don't
It's a
have to.
prequel. It's a prequel, so
It's a
technically
prequel.
you don't have to have watched any of it.
Yeah, you don't have
It
to.
helps, but
Yeah. But literally, of course, Ned Stark is the big character and one of the big characters in Game of Thrones. But literally after watching this character, it's like hold my beer. This guy literally just killed it, and it was amazing. Just because I was reading George R.R. Martin says it's going to take 4 seasons to do it right, which you
Wow.
don't need to draw it out. But yes, it's a lot to take in. But if you want to show, and yes, it is a commitment. But it was like this episode, like I never stand up after you watch TV because no one sees you, but you're like, fucking A, that was a good episode. I'm like, I was very impressed. A 10 out of a 10 episode. I was like, damn, because like IMDb before it was released, it was getting like a 10 out of 10. I'm like, why was it this good? So it was very well done.
So Jack, you gave it a standing ovation in your own house.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did. I was like,
I could see him doing that actually.
oh, it was great. But Hugh, how'd I do with no spoiler free? Basically, I really wanted. To talk about
yeah,
it.
no spoilers. Good job. And that's Kevin texting us all. I mean, you might as well
Yes.
just say it. He's in
Yeah.
our group chat. He's finally home.
Yeah, he made it home. He's safe.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
Corbs.
A corpse. Probably.
Isn't he next?
I don't get to fucking do anything. Jesus.
I was
Christ.
just gonna throw ones out that we're all watching. I was just
Oh,
trying
I
to
watched.
keep it
I've
moving
been
along.
watching on Hulu. I watched the Legacy about the Los Angeles Lakers. It's different than there's 2 of them that were going on. This one kind of breaks it down into like everything that's been going on since Dr. Buss bought the team and how he groomed his kids to take over. And he bought the Lakers, he bought the Kings, he bought the Los Angeles Sparks, the women's basketball team. He had a bunch of sports teams he ran. There was a track right around the forum that his son ran, horses and stuff like that. He ran that. They had a soccer team that they owned, and his kids ran that and stuff like that. So, but now it goes into like how the kids, after he passed away, how they started. There's been a lot of infighting on who's supposed to run the team, and it ends up his daughter, who's worked with him the entire time from when he bought the team. She started out interning, and then got a job as like the special coordinator for like bringing in axes. What they did was he bought the team and he leveraged everything he had to buy the team. So he needed to sell out every single night to make money. Or to supplement it, he needed to sell out when they weren't there. He needed to have like acts coming in, and it was something that nobody had ever done before. Like people weren't selling out like arenas to have people show up and perform every night. So he had to do that, and his daughter was the one that kind of got that ball rolling for them, and worked it out where they would always have somebody when they weren't playing at the arena. They had something going on there, whether it be the ice capades or the Russian circus was in town. And they booked him for, a week or something like that stuff. They were just doing all of that stuff to supplement the money. And then now it's the Lakers. Everybody knows who the Los Angeles Lakers are. They're a billion-dollar franchise. They're the most sought after merchandise basketball wise in the world. So, it's pretty wild just to see it. Like I said, he has kids he has like 7 kids, and they all work in some facet in the industry, and stuff like that. Like they work there, and then they would leave, and then he would slowly bring them back in. His daughter's been the only one that's really kind of been there the whole time. She left for a little while when she got married. She moved to Italy with her volleyball husband. Her husband played volleyball, professional volleyball. And this was back when they were still playing.
That's not a thing. Come on.
It was back then. It's not now. Well, actually, it is now because I'm going to play fucking professional beach volleyball.
Is that the one that's married to Phil Jackson? Is that
She was? No, they weren't married. They were in a relationship.
Ah.
But they're no longer in a relationship. But yes, Genie Bus was when Phil became the head coach there. They got together. So yeah. So, but it's pretty interesting. Like I said, it goes in. It starts in with like from the time that he bought the team with the Magic Johnson and how Magic had to retire due to having HIV, how they drafted Kobe Bryant, how they brought in Shaq, and how the two of them never really got along. And then they decided they wanted to win a championship. They wanted to win a couple of them, so they decided they were gonna, get along during the season and stuff like that. And then how Shaq wanted to come back because they had won 3 straight. And he wanted to come back, and they didn't want to pay him what he wanted because he was a little older at the time. And how we decided, you know what? Well, if you're not going to pay me, well, fuck you. Somebody was going to pay me, so they traded him to the Miami Heat. And what did Heat do? They went out and won the championship that year. And how he kind of talked shit about Kobe when he left and all that stuff and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. I kind of like documentaries like that. So that's it for me. So.
All right. I'm just looking. She-Hulk, we're up to the last episode.
Yeah, I'm way behind on that.
Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
You had 6 jobs.
Right.
Good though, you like it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun series. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, I like the episodes that I watched. There's so many other things that are going on that you want to watch and that you're trying to catch up on, and some stuff gets kind of pushed away. So,
Does Hulk have a good part in it? Is it
Maybe you need to watch it.
Seriously,
I don't want to.
Yeah, well, we're not your Cliff Notes. Fuck off.
I want to be you can be my Cliff Notes.
No,
be my
I can't. I know. No.
He's like, no.
All right, so I think the last big one to hit, and then we'll wrap this thing up, is Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
The main show's back.
Yep.
It's as good as ever. Shit's moving fast too, I'd say.
And they've completely done away with the possibility of the comic book ending now.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Did they? Because like in the beginning,
They did.
They did.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. You're right. Okay.
Right
I got
at
it,
the
yeah.
last episode.
Yep. Okay.
No possible way that's how it ends.
You know what? They're not going to kill Rick. They're going to keep everything going. We're going to have spin-off shows. They
Yeah.
still have to do his other show with Denai Guerrera isn't going to be out before the end of this season.
Right.
So clearly, I mean, you know what? He gets a pass this time, and don't try to catch up with him later at the end of his series. If you want to have this continue to be a universe, there's no harm in not killing off everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm okay with that.
I feel
We
like
can
next
maybe see him later. Oh,
I
Yeah.
feel like next episode we'll probably have Ezekiel pass on because he's staying at the Commonwealth and he can't do much anymore. So maybe
I
this
think
a proper send off.
actually, I think if they wanted to do some version of that with that comic book ending with maybe the governor, their lady there doing
Pamela Milton.
Pamela. He is really the only character that I feel they can pull that off with that either isn't safe or nobody really cares about enough for it to have that kind of impact. Like
Mhm.
Aaron, he's another one that they could slot into that. But I mean, would it really impact you that much,
No.
Aaron? I mean, I like him, but he's not, Mr. fucking I have a pet tiger,
Yeah.
it's, and everybody else is safe. So
Yeah.
What is Ezekiel's spinoff going to be? Like Ezekiel's Zoo of Zombies or something like that? It's
what?
like,
No, we're not talking about a spinoff. We're talking about him getting Rick's comic book
Smoked.
death.
no. Oh, okay. But like, also though, Dan, how do I say his last name? Dan Folger, or like he was the guy playing the violin, the music, like the music teacher. Where the fuck did he go? Do we even know where he went?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
He was.
I know who you're talking about. He was with
He was. Yeah, he's in all those.
The other
like,
guy that got killed
comedies.
from
Yeah.
the hilltop.
Yeah, he's in he's in a lot of good funny movies that we like. He's like he played the musician, he's like the music teacher. He's writing sheet music, he's in the
Oh
library.
yeah.
Yeah, the one that
like,
always
where'd
wore
he
the
go?
suit coat for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he go off somewhere?
He was with Miko and Mika, whatever the hell her name is.
Right. All I know is when I watch it with my dad, he's like, "Matt, that girl's hot." I'm like, "Yes, Dad, I know." I'm like watching my dad. He's like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yes, Dad, she's a lesbian." He's like, "Doesn't matter." I'm like, "Okay, Dad."
Easy, Dad. Easy, buddy.
All right. I think that's a good place to leave that.
Yeah.
All
Before
right.
we get Jack's parents divorced.
Right. That's about it, guys.
Wait. Do you know that the oldest computer was owned by Adam and Eve? It was an Apple with very limited memory. One byte, everything crashed.
Dumbass.
Great. All right.
I feel dumber now.
I have more of them, but I'll leave them for next time.
Right. We don't have to put everyone in.
It's true.
Okay. I think that about does it.
Drop your nuggets, Paul.
Never trust people who smile constantly. They're either selling something or not that fucking bright. Good night, everybody, and megabyte me, bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.